Welcome to episode 10 of the Gilded Troll. No, welcome to DM Prep. My name is Ian, and I'll be your DM for today. Today I'm joined by Steph and Tim. They're going to be helping me prep for episode 10 of the Gilded Troll plays Curse of Strahd, which is titled... what did I title it? What's the name of the stream? I don't even remember. The Vampire Hunter. That's the name of the stream. That's the name of the episode. But that's not really what we're prepping right now. That was fast.
Oh god.
Let's turn that down a little bit.
Ooh, 4 months.
Thanks for subbing, Jesse. So we're not going to be prepping the actual next session. What we're going to be prepping together is the rest of the campaign, pretty much. So, yeah, I mean, just the entire campaign, all in one session. Like this
5-hour block.
This is the last DM prep. You don't have to watch anymore. No, not really. So, basically what I want to prep is I want to figure out how the major players in the campaign are going to behave, because that's something that that as a DM you have massive control over. And the reason I wanted to bring people on with me is, number one, 2 heads are better than 1, and in a lot of circumstances 3 heads are better than 2. But also I wanted to... I was having a hard time with it, so I really wanted some advice. So I guess we kind of just jump into it.
So where are they at now, and where do you want to go?
Yeah, so right now they're at Oregon Vostholt, and they just got the analog of the Sun Sword, which I've homebrewed into the Hammer of the Morning Lord, which if you want to see me do that, was on last week's episode. So they just found this massive weapon, with which they can destroy Strahd, or so they think, and they just met Esmeralda, who calls herself a vampire hunter. Yeah. So I'm half expecting them to be very emboldened by this specific turn of events. It's just one after another. They got a vampire destroying weapon and a vampire hunter at the same time. And that's assuming Esmeralda actually likes them and wants to be anywhere near them, which...
I think Esmeralda would like Snurk's character.
Yeah, but Esmeralda also likes to work alone, is the thing. As written. But that's one of the things that I can change. I can change whatever the fuck I want, because I'm God here. But
Jesse, if you're watching this, please quote that.
Yeah.
I'm God here.
I can change whatever I want because I'm God here. So the ending of the book as written is essentially that the players are inevitably going to get powerful enough to the point where they think that they can face Strahd, and then they face Strahd and they either die, or they defeat him, they destroy him permanently, the mists recede, they're allowed to leave, and... Thanks, Jesse. And then, in an epilogue, 6 months down the line, Strahd reforms, and Barovia just goes back to the way it was.
Classic ending.
Is it, though?
Is it? I feel like most... Well, I don't know.
So I read, it wasn't actually over this past week, but it was last Friday. I read I Strahd, which I highly recommend for anyone who's going to DM Curse of Strahd, and I got some ideas out of it that sort of made that ending feel really cheesy to me. The first of which is that I don't think that the Dark Powers would ever let Strahd die, even just temporarily.
What's the 6-month waiting period then?
Exactly. What is that? There's no explanation given for that. I don't understand where it comes from. Like, I don't really get any narrative reason for that to exist, other than to make it even remotely possible for the players to win. It's like, we don't want Strahd to ever die, but if the players
have to get a win.
Yeah, the players have to get some kind of win.
Even
How long
if it's
do
a
vampires
hollow
take to
victory.
reform in their coffin? Vampires don't reform in their coffin. In 5th edition, vampires, when you reduce them to 0 hit points, turn to mist, go back to their coffin, and then after a long rest, they get all of their hit points back. Like, they don't die. They just go back to their coffin if they're not killed. But if a vampire is killed,
Or in running
permanently
water.
destroyed...
Or running water.
running water,
Yeah.
sunlight,
Stake.
sunlight... Yeah, stake... no, stake through the heart actually just paralyzes them.
Yeah. Just holds them in place.
Okay.
Yep. Unless you kill them in their coffin. No, you have to kill them with running water or sunlight. Like, full stop. Otherwise, their regeneration just, works once they're back in their coffin. So, my conception of Curse of Strahd, and given what I read in I, Strahd, is that Strahd's not the bad guy here. Strahd isn't the antagonist. He's not their villain.
The Dark Powers are.
The Dark Powers are the villain.
Okay.
How do you defeat a power?
Right.
So is the focus of their power in Barovia the temple?
It isn't. So that's actually a very common misconception in Curse of Strahd.
But that's where
a
it
lot
is.
of people So a lot of people think that the vestiges in the Amber Temple are the same thing as the Dark Powers. They're not. They're two separate entities. The vestiges in the Amber Temple are thousands of years old, whereas the Dark Powers didn't really take any hold in Barovia until Strahd called them with his jealousy, which was about 400 years ago.
Okay.
So the dark powers that the PCs have entreated for survival so far, are they the ancient ones or the new ones?
Those are the new ones.
Okay. Okay.
Or they could be the old ones. I think canonically, technically, if you read the AL document that introduces the dark gifts that bring players back to life, I think technically they're the dark powers and not the vestiges.
Okay.
But I could just as easily say that they're the vestiges. Maybe the vestiges understand that they're trapped here too, and they want to get out, so the vestiges could actually be a useful ally? Maybe?
How would you even
Maybe.
convey that?
Right, and that's kind of what I wanted help with. So I want to find a way to convince the players that Strahd is as much a victim as they are. And he could. I forgot
didn't
to
eat
eat
your
my phone.
phone.
And he could be a victim of his own, jealousy and his own horrible, personality. But,
Shadows actually brings up a really good point, and me and Ian talked about this, so I want to see how
Yeah.
Tim reacts. Strahd gotta get the girl to be free.
yeah.
How do you think it would work if Irina finally, not suddenly, but over the course of the rest of the campaign, came to the conclusion that giving herself to Strahd would end it, so it's
Yeah.
a sacrifice then?
Right. So
To set the rest of
in
Barovia
I,
free.
Strahd, it establishes... that's interesting, Jesse. I didn't know that. That is odd. But Strahd's special. He's a special vampire that apparently can't ever die because dark powers, so maybe they just gave that to him.
But what do you think?
So I, Strahd established that the way that the Tatiana reincarnation cycle works is that she's born every generation. She's always orphaned, and she always loses her memory at some point in her life. And Strahd finds her, and then over the course of a few nights, he teaches her who she is, and then right before he can turn her, the dark powers take her in one way or another. So the very first time she was reincarnated as Marina in Berez, her adoptive father who wanted to marry her, yeah, it's fucked up, and the priest of Berez conspired to kill her because they saw this vampiric influence on her. They killed her to save her from that. And that was the first time.
It's almost like a reverse angel going on in terms of if he finally feels that moment of completion in love with her, he could be restored or some sort of salvation. But the origin of his jealousy is kind of unfounded. It was.
Right.
It isn't a nice kind of love. It's just a weird infatuation of someone else.
Yeah, no, his love is absolutely disgusting.
Well, I
So
think
it's kind
it
of-
was a jab at Sergei. It was, I want Or no, he found out that they were engaged after he set eyes on her and was like, she's mine,
No,
right?
she was actually, in Istrad, she was introduced to him as Sergei's fiancé.
Oh, so that's totally just a...
It was, I want what
his.
my brother has.
Yeah.
That makes him immature,
In
not
Curse
evil.
of Strahd, in the Tome of Strahd, in the 2 or 3 page readout, or handout that they give you in Curse of Strahd, it says that Strahd wanted, he saw Irina, she was perfect, she was everything he wanted, but then she got betrothed, the date was set, the wedding was due. And it's like, that's not really how that happened. They were betrothed before you ever saw her face. But I mean, leeway, you know what I mean?
But what do we think about that idea?
Yeah, so, I mean, it raises the bigger question of, how do the players win? Which I think is a question we already asked, but, how do the players win? They can't kill the Dark Powers.
Yeah, when we play, I mean, we didn't finish it in the end. But I know that for us, a lot of the focus, especially for the first half of it, was just getting Irina safe.
Right.
And we were so focused on that, we went almost straight through Valaki and barely did anything and went straight to Quetz to try and save her.
Mm-hmm.
And then we actually accidentally took her to the fountain and gave her back to Sergei and resolved her. So she was saved.
Oh, you did that. Ian told me that's a thing you could do, and I was like, who the fuck would ever do that? Apparently your group did.
But it completes the circle. Like Strahd can then never get to her.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's done. Like that chain is broken.
Right.
So he either just kind of has to wither in bitterness forever, or something else has to happen. There has to be some other catalyst because his entire reason for existing is removed completely from the cycle.
Right.
So we never got to. I didn't get to finish that, but it kind of. I thought it was a really nice moment to finally put her back with the person that she did love, and who did love her back in a healthy way.
Yeah.
But you,
I consider that a story win, but in terms of the fight finale, that does set Strahd up just as villain, and we never really considered the Dark Powers.
Yeah, you wanted to save Irina, not Strahd, so that was still really
Yeah.
satisfying. But if you want Strahd to be the one that's saved...
Because it always felt like he was her torturer, even though he in turn was being tortured by something else.
Yeah.
Yeah, at no point do I ever want Strahd to come across as just a good guy with, that's in a bad situation.
No.
Dude's a fucking creep.
Yeah.
And I don't want to say he deserves the 400 years of torture.
I don't think anybody does.
Probably not. But he, this is a prison of his own making.
No,
he does. I mean, he keeps doing things that make him deserve a little bit more torture. So, I mean, maybe cumulatively he does deserve the 400 years of torture.
I don't know that it would feel good as a player to have Irina go to Strahd after you've spent so long trying to keep her from him.
Right.
I don't know that will feel satisfying. I think you'll feel that is a loss.
Right, yeah. So that was kind of the other thing that I wanted to do. Like, I want to make a story that makes sense, but I also want to make sure that it's a story that, even if it is technically a win, it can't feel like shit.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to say that every RPG ending should be a happy ending, but it should at least not be a we feel disgusting for what we just did kind of ending.
I mean, Curse of Strahd, though.
Yeah.
Like, if you're gonna have that
some
ending...
people can be disgusting but feel good in the disgusting. I was like, if you want to take that power for yourself, that is a disgusting ending in that sense, but it's good for that person or that character.
I don't think
you don't want to finish it and go, oh, why didn't feel good.
Yeah.
I don't think that this is really a group of players that would feel good about that.
No.
They've been
so
fervently trying to protect Irina.
Yeah, that's kind of what we because we took the 2 kids from Bone Grinder and Irina because we were convinced the guy in the bar was going to was not the parent of the kids, was going to just sell them into slavery or something. So we took the kids and Irina. She took care of them, but it was very obvious because we had her with them. Strahd kept trying to come and get her, and we wouldn't let him. We were like, we just have to go. Just ignore all the plot. We just have to get to the one place we were told she could be saved.
Right.
Yeah.
And then it just so happened we stumbled across the fountain.
What if you utilize Sergei?
Yeah, so I have this list of like major players in Curse of Strahd that we can make use of.
In Istrahd, did Sergei ever have a meaningful relationship with Strahd?
So
Or were they always adversarial? Were they always...
So they didn't meet each other until Strahd was 45 and Sergei was 26.
Yikes, okay.
And then a year and a half later, Sergei's dead. So, you know what I mean? And then in that year and a half, Strahd basically just saw everything that he hated about himself reflected off of Sergei's youth.
Because I was going to say, if they had anything meaningful, you could have Sergei come up he's in the lake, right?
In it's like a pond in Krezk.
Okay. Yeah. He could have a conversation or something with Strahd, and like or maybe he could do something with the dark powers or the vestiges or whatever you wanted. But if there's not much of a relationship there, then why the fuck would he listen?
Right.
He does want to stop them ever getting back together. Like, he detests him.
Right.
Yeah.
And out of interest, so the entities that have been giving the players the dark gifts, I think you did give them a bit of personification in one of the episodes. Did you have a plan in mind for what or who, how that was manifesting? Because it seemed to have some personality to it.
No. I had no plans for that whatsoever.
No.
And everything I came up with was completely off the cuff. Including like the little vignettes that they saw like while they were dead. It's like, you know, you're a frog and you burn to death. I'm gonna put you in a frog in a hot pot of water.
You could twist this so that Sergei is the bad guy, and that he tormented Strahd at every single step with, I know you want this, but I am the young hotshot. Here is my hot fiance.
So
he could be the origin of the dark power.
So you replace, you swap out villains. Basically.
Effectively, so Sergei was the whole time was like, I hate my older brother, I want all his shit, I'm going to torment him as much as I can from a distance without seeming like a white knight.
Now how do they find that out? What would be a good way for them to find that out?
So I will just say, not that this ruins any of our plans, but I will say for the viewers that completely ruins the canon dark powers of the demi-planes of dread. Utterly ruins them. But that's fine, we don't care about that.
Dude, that's fine.
Because
it could have been
Barovia is not the only demi-plane of dread. So canonically what happens with the dark powers is that the dark powers are attracted to people with darkness in their hearts. They offer them power in return for... And then when that power is taken and the deals are made and the dark deeds are done, in Strahd's case, murdering his brother, the dark powers pull an entire region of the prime material into the demi-plane. It makes a new demi-plane of dread out of that area. So there's dozens of these things, and every one of them is a prison for a terrible person.
So what if the prison was for Sergei all along? And he used Strahd as a scapegoat instead?
So,
because I'm assuming that is he his full brother?
Yeah, they're full brothers.
So that means that Baba Lysaga is still his mother.
Baba Lysaga calls herself Strahd's mother.
Wet nurse,
okay.
right?
She birthed him.
Oh, midwife. Okay.
She's a midwife. She birthed Strahd.
But yeah, she's just creepy and thinks she has possession of him, but doesn't.
Okay.
The other, and I didn't even put her on the list. The other major player in this family is Madame Ava, who is actually Strahd's half sister,
Yeah.
by way of his dad having an affair with the Vistani.
Well, maybe
Yeah.
they need to go back to Madame Ava to find out more. But no, because like she gave the reading, she's basically
not
done.
only did she give the reading, the players seem to have so little respect for her that despite me planning
Snark
on...
does.
And Snark's the party leader. He's the de facto leader of the party. So, yeah. I mean,
love Bayless, but it's tough.
it's tough. So, like, my original plan for this campaign was that Madame Ava is trying to save her brother. That was my plan for the campaign. Madame Ava wants to finally, for once and for all, save her brother from this hell. I don't think that that's going to work anymore, so I'm trying to pivot here.
I suppose it always depends on your definition of save.
Yeah,
Because for some people, death is a saving grace.
Yeah. So essentially, like, the really big thing that I want to do is I want to have a moment where people are like, Curse of Strahd doesn't mean Strahd is the curse. It means Strahd is cursed.
Right.
Yeah. And they've already got the tome, haven't they?
They have the Tome of Strahd, and now they have the Sun Sword stand-in.
Okay, and I'm assuming it's kind of they've got the content of that they've read, so it's not even like you could at this point begin to sow sympathetic seeds into and make it an eye Strahd in terms of here's more of the truth about what happened.
I mean, I could literally give them eye Strahd, just give them the whole book.
Would they read it?
Would they read it?
Wow.
That's
It's like 200 pages.
I mean, it's a big homework assignment.
Yeah.
Hey, there's also a 2-hour, 55-minute audiobook which I spent my evening listening to.
Thanks.
You're such an overachiever. We love you.
I got through most of it and then I got distracted.
It was like 4 hours before we started this DM prep, and Tim asks, "Do you want me to do any homework?" I'm like, "No, not really. I just read I Strahd. I thought that was pretty cool."
Jordan might read it.
And Tim's like, "Oh, okay, cool. I'll read that real quick." Wait, what?
I did actually. I was listening to it and I was like, okay, this isn't moving quick enough. So I went into the text and I was like speeding way ahead. I could have done that easily. It's only 200 pages and it was like huge text.
What if
Thanks, Twitch encouragement.
there's no way that's an actual person?
I don't care. That's adorable. Thanks for making that bot. If you're not a human.
What if they actually met with Strahd, like they're supposed
Right.
to, like they have an invitation
Yeah.
for, and then Strahd can actually go, "Yo, my brother's a fuckhead."
I still don't know if I'm sold on the Sergei being the bad guy.
Oh, I like it though. Oh, it's like a drama. It's like a lifetime drama.
It is a little soapy. Yeah.
This entire thing is a soap.
This
Let's be
entire
real.
thing is a soap. Yeah.
Otherwise, you're gonna have to find ways to seed in the dark powers and define what they are to you.
Right.
Yeah.
And the dark powers
There
are
needs
very
to start being some
deliberately-
signposting.
Yeah, that's really what I need. I need to know what signpost I need to start laying down for the players so that we can come to a satisfying conclusion.
Did you have any other ideas for?
So, like, my big thing is that I kind of want the ending to be them thwarting the dark powers in one way or another. Whether that's finding a way to permanently destroy Strahd, although I think that's super weak, because if it's possible, why hasn't anyone done it in 400 years? Or finding a way to break his curse or redeem him somehow, or just somehow I want them to understand that they need to thwart the dark powers and then do it.
What about if you had a player self-sacrifice? Because that could be a satisfying ending for a player. So they go to the Amber Temple to get all the dark powers. Maybe the dark powers start going, we grow bored of torturing Strahd, and giving them dropping hints, and then you could free Strahd if...
So,
I
think you're conflating the vestiges and the dark powers
I
again.
probably am.
So, the dark powers are incapable of getting bored because they're not even personified.
Okay.
They're basically a force of nature.
Yeah.
They punish evildoers.
Okay.
They also tempt evildoers into doing the evil in the first place because they're dicks like that. But they're just a force of evil nature.
Yeah.
Is there in your mind a way to break this curse? Is there a way?
Is there a way that would make sense without completely tearing apart what they actually are?
I don't know.
Because I don't know. I like it. You're gonna have to have a fight. You need a big fight at the end of it.
You have to have a big fight.
And if the dark powers cannot be personified because they are simply a force of nature, I don't know how you're gonna do that.
They can act through intermediaries.
Okay. Who are those? What are the creatures that come from the
So-
negative plane and they replace people?
Uh.
The ones in Foam of Toes. They're the really tall, like shadow demon-looking ones.
Oh.
And like, if you banish someone, they swap places with them.
Oh. I don't know.
That sounds metal.
That sounds awesome as hell, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you banish someone to the negative plane, this creature comes back in their place.
Is that the Doom Walker or something like that?
Yes,
Nightwalker?
Yeah, like Deathwalker or something like that.
Nightwalker.
Oh, that's the thing that got
Those could be
summoned.
kind of cool to be personified.
That would be a hell of a
They are
final boss,
nasty.
too.
They're nasty.
Holy shit. So when we speed ran Curse of Strahd, a
This got
Nightwalker got summoned during the fight with Strahd.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So there's also kind of this that you kind of have for you. Your canon precedent is that's you've already got that there. So it's not like even like you're trying to completely break the mold. You've already kind of done it.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So I wonder if there is a way to break this.
Nightwalker is not immune to charm, so it got boned. This is true.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember that.
Well, you can just change that. It'd be fine.
Yeah.
You're God, right?
Been a while. Strahd had different plot options, a little bit more background. Not only trying to marry, convert Irina, but he does that out of belief of her being. Yeah. So yeah, Irina is 100% the reincarnation of Tatiana. She's born every single generation, and Strahd always fails to get her. What?
Like Buffy.
Yeah.
She's the vampire layer of,
Okay.
Sorry.
I know of Buffy enough to know that, but
Oh god, yeah, I forgot that you're not Buffy fans. Never mind. You monsters.
Monsters. So
Yeah,
here's a potential issue. If Strahd is a sympathetic villain turned not remotely the antagonist, does that mean that he will fight alongside them against the dark powers? And actually, is that a problem?
Well, I was thinking that maybe the way you're going to have to do this is there's going to have to be a grand ritual. And that may mean bringing together disparate groups in Barovia who do not wish to see Strahd, whatever.
Right.
And so convince them and say, no, if you want this to end, you need to help us.
Right.
Start a ritual that's going to incapacitate Strahd. You have to willingly do that. He's out for the count. And then the powers come in to try and interrupt that ritual.
that's
So then
cool
you're
as
now
fuck.
you're now doing like a siege fight with Strahd in the middle. Even if that means getting the druids, getting Barber to agree. Different groups that say no, fuck no, why would we do this? And be like, this is the only way.
And that would
For
be
this cycle
something
to ever stop.
that would be something the players wouldn't probably be able to handle on their own, but with Strahd's aid, it'd be like this really big finale then.
Mm-hmm.
Like, release me sort of thing, and he just fights back.
Yeah, but we would need to get the reveal going, like, immediately, because they need to fully understand what it is they need to do, and then they're going to need to work for at least half a dozen sessions to put this thing together for it to feel satisfying. Because if they figure out, oh, we need a ritual, and then they can get 5 groups on their side in 2 sessions, it's like, why the fuck has no one ever done that
So
before?
where haven't they been yet, and where can you put information?
I was thinking you could rewrite the Solar as not being evil. Make the abbot
the Deva. Yeah.
Wait, that's a
not be a
Deva?
shitbag.
Yeah, the abbot is a Deva.
What?
I had him.
He's twisted. Like he's making a bride for Strahd.
Right.
Oh no, I knew that. I didn't know
Yeah,
he was
no,
a diva.
I
my
rewrote him as an Oni for our campaign
Yeah,
Oh.
for the
Jesus.
first time.
High
Yeah.
level angel.
Yeesh.
So I rewrote him as an Oni because one of our players had a backstory that his sister was kidnapped by an Oni,
He was haunted.
and I was like, oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Your sister's part of Vasilka now. She was kidnapped for her voice.
Oh god, that was Luke's character who was also addicted to mushrooms. He was just
Mhm.
fucked.
So places that they haven't been yet. They haven't been to the Amber Temple, which is a ridiculously humongous source of information.
Mhm.
They haven't met Van Richten. I mean, they did, but they don't know they did.
Yeah,
Because they met Rictavio.
right.
They're just barely now meeting Esmeralda. They haven't met the abbot. So like, there's a lot of sources of information where they could learn things about Strahd.
Like even getting, so spoilers for anyone, but like getting Mordecai to remember the ritual.
So Mordenkainen is now Nixie.
Oh yes, of course. Yeah. Okay. Yeah,
That's
let's
only
do
if we
that
meet the
then.
bit goal.
No, that's always Nixie.
Oh, is it?
The
Okay.
big goal is whether or not she has the shield.
Oh, they better not meet Nixie when Irena's still with them.
So you can't have to play on both.
You get to do the DM talking to yourself for a while.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Gargoth offers some knowledge. then-
Gargoth's not in the
That's
shield anymore.
Interesting.
Oh,
Isn't the
yeah,
shield?
no, he's not.
Yeah. This is our Avernus canon Nixie. Gargoth was removed from the shield.
Hi, I'm Nixie.
I already rolled a level 17 Nixie.
I'm an Icar alcoholic.
I'm an Icarholic.
Icarholic.
I had to rewrite the Ica because it was just getting insane. I had to say like, if you do it in 3 days, you will turn into a dretch.
Ooh.
Because I couldn't.
Yeah.
Because they were just chugging it and getting all the stuff. Like,
Yeah,
That's
just
what
chugging
we
it. It's just
did.
like, why are you doing? Stop that! No, bad.
Chaotic.
Z
players.
gives a
I
good
got-
suggestion of what if they find a figure? What if they figure a way to somehow pass the curse off to a willing person, as there always has to be a count. I love that suggestion. I've run an entire campaign based on that idea. It's Dungeon of the Mad Mage. Check it out on YouTube. Yeah, no, like
No, that's what you did in the previous Curse of Strahd one, though, too.
Yes.
Iggy
yeah,
became
I
the
did
new
actually.
Strahd.
I did actually do
but
that.
Strahd
I got the idea from World of Warcraft. by the
groomed
way.
him. That's the...
Yeah.
But then also the curse still exists,
Right.
whereas
Right.
we're trying to stop that curse. So it's no longer Curse of Strahd, but it's still Curse of X.
Right.
Yeah.
I was thinking like I actually think maybe surprisingly the most likely candidate is Gramps. I think he could be tempted into it
Especially
because
now
he
that
would
he's
think of himself
undead.
as that thing like
Yeah.
he's on a slippery slope. I think he would see himself as being a force for good when you start like putting the Wizards of the Wines in and the Druids at Yester Hill. I think there's a real way that he could start convincing himself that he might be able to take on this mantle, and it's a possibility.
Do you want the same ending again, though?
Not really. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's kind of why I wanted to like just change everything.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But I am liking the idea of having to like get people involved.
Because in like getting the vestiges involved, like they may each have to take on a power.
Oh.
Like they have to
Right.
take on one, whether they want to
Yeah.
or not.
Right.
And that is part of it. They're being imbued by the ancient powers,
Right.
and then bringing together different groups who can break it collectively. The 3 items can help rather than having to fight him. They're the 3 things that need to be put into the circle with him to put back his sense of humanity.
So we're talking undoing Strahd's vampirism.
Well, it's kind of all of it, isn't it?
I mean, he would just turn
Like
to
in the-
dust. There's no ending where he gets to just be a human again.
Yeah.
Well, he's a piece of shit.
then
You
he's
wouldn't want that
dying.
anyway.
Right.
But then he's dying and you don't want him to die.
I don't mind him dying. I just
It'll be a release.
yeah.
It'll
I
still
don't.
be-
I don't want the bullshit. He dies so that you can leave, but then he comes back because this can't end.
Yeah.
I would want something more permanent. And if there's a proper way for him to actually permanently die, I think that's okay.
I think you could do it. I mean, even
Yeah.
like you could be super cheesy and go the Voldemort route here and say you need like the bone of the father, the blood of the mother, the flesh of the brother, and like tie
You
these
could do that.
the different groups in. You could actually
It'd
do
be
that because
it
they'd
would
have
be
to
really
maybe go in the Ravenloft to the crypt and.
yeah.
I don't hate
It'd be
that.
really funny if they needed the bone of the brother because they think they already have Sergei's bones, but they don't.
Oh, that would be funny as
They don't have
Oh.
Sergei's bones.
Huh.
Not Sergei's bones.
Blow the mother they try to get from Baba Saga. Nope.
Yeah, so they need to convince her that this is the right path.
What if he actually sacrificed himself as part of the final battle with the Dark Powers after actually becoming allies with the party?
I don't know if I ever want him to actually be a good guy because he's still an absolute piece of shit.
Yeah, like he would help them just for the sake of the final battle
yeah, he's
to
helping
set himself
yeah.
free.
Like he's helping them very selfishly. Like there's no gonna be like if he can set himself free and the players have to die to do it, he's gonna take that chance. He's not gonna try and save them.
Mm-hmm.
Like that like
And so yeah, it's kind of also you've decided at this point that Strahd does want to be free because there's so many different ways of playing it. He may enjoy being this way.
I think he does definitely want to be free. But I think he's also kind of given up on that at this point.
He's just going through the motions now.
Yeah, like
I like
he's
the line in the book. They said, "What did you do? Everything and nothing," which I thought was I quite like that line.
Yeah. That is immortality.
yeah.
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 It's tough. So our ideas are essentially construct a humongous ritual that will allow him to be freed, but we're gonna need help from a bunch of different powerful people.
Mm-hmm.
Really shitty ending of just making the reunite, the reunion with Tatiana actually happen for once. Permanently removing Irina from Barovia, is that enough? Or is that, like, the book says that, you know, if Irina leaves, then Strahd can never get her, and...
I feel like Irina is a side quest for them,
Yeah.
not a story.
Yeah, they
Ender.
don't seem to realize that Irina's super important. But they...
Well,
This is one of the things that I noticed because you haven't had Strahd be an active threat all
Right.
the time. That sense of danger for her individually is not as apparent. Whereas for us, he visited us like twice,
Yeah.
and we were like, we just gotta go. We have to get safety. Go now. Nothing else matters. We just have to save her.
Right.
So we just focused on that.
The question is, how do you bring Strahd in as a threat to get them going, to get them worried without them getting mouthy, and then it ending in a TPK? That's the big thing.
Yeah.
Because we know they would.
We had one where he just appeared in a mist and was like beckoning Irene towards him, and she was, and we just we tried to fight him, but stuff was just going straight to him. I tried casting like Hunter's Mark on him, it took no effect. Like he wasn't there; it was just an illusion of him.
Okay. Like a charm Irina, here I am, they go to hit him,
Yeah,
he's
like
not actually there.
come finally join him. As soon as she steps into the mist, he can like whip her away. But the image of Strahd was just an illusion, so there was no sense. Like we tried to fight, but there was no fight to be had.
Like a Manchun situation with the simulacra.
Yeah?
Like they're constantly showing up and
Oh god. Should I just make dozens of Strahd simulacra?
I mean, I can't tell you how beautifully frustrating it was, because when Ian ran Dragon Heist for us, Manchun, he picked Manchun as the villain. It was so fucking frustrating.
Like, yeah, we beat fucking snow!
Snow again!
Yeah, I used it. I had the big fight at the end with them. He and Vajra were fighting. And I was basically picking stuff off her spell list and picking a quadrant of the room and having the effect happen. And at the very end, after we fighting for 8 rounds, she did an anti-magic cone on him, and he just turned into snow. And I was like, what?
What?
This whole time?
Now how can you
But it
flavor
also-
that for vampire-ness?
Yeah. Like, you can just do illusions. Like, he has the ability to send illusions out, does he not?
Yes, of course he does.
Why not?
He's a 400-year-old vampire wizard.
Yeah.
You fucking what?
Like, I think normally he has to be within, like, 500 feet, but, like, he basically creates an illusion out of mist of himself. That's
Okay.
kind of what we had. So he's there and watching, but the Strahd they're seeing is not real Strahd.
Right.
So maybe lay heavy onto that, and maybe they'll want to go to the castle and meet with him.
I don't think they're ever going to want to go to the castle.
You don't think so?
No. The only time
we decided level 10 only was the only time we were ever going to.
Yeah, they're essentially going to. I have a feeling they're going to do the same
went immediately.
thing. Yeah.
Because we wanted to know who he was.
Mm.
You know?
Like, as written, it's intended that you do go.
Right.
Like, you're supposed to have a civil dinner with him.
Right.
And he's
But I
supposed
don't
to
understand how
corporate
that's
and
supposed to work, because you're supposed to have Irina with you, and why would he let her out of his sight?
Yeah.
I don't. So one thing that is in the novel that isn't in the book is that over the course of a few nights, he makes Tatiana remember who she is. Of course, he twists it and says that they were lovers and never mentioned Sergei.
Mm-hmm.
But can we use that? Can we use him,
Being
like,
delusional?
make gaslighting Irina, essentially?
One, is that going to be
That's
really bad for any of the players to experience? Because I do worry about that.
What if he's not actually gaslighting her and he's just actually telling her truths that the party can then learn, then that's, an
That aren't
avenue for
true.
them to learn things. But yeah, ignoring the second invitation would be enough to get Strahd to send something to attack them. Probably.
I think, what happened is the illusion was there, we tried to fight him, he disappeared, and then out of the mist, the werewolves showed up. Which was it was really interesting, because we were, like, poking around the mist trying to find him, and all of a sudden, the werewolves came out.
Yeah.
It was quite a fun moment. Frustrating, but fun.
Yeah.
Well, how about you plan for Illusion Strahd meeting up with them?
But we still haven't decided on an ending. Or like, or not even like an ending, because I don't want to write the ending for the players, but
Yeah.
I want to come up with a rough
Overarching.
narrative.
Yeah.
And like we have a bunch of ideas, but we also have a bunch of problems with all of them. I don't know.
God, Tim, you're supposed to be helping.
I am helping!
I'm kidding.
Oh, look, it's a dump up.
Ian was bouncing all these ideas off me, and I was just like,
Sleepy puppy.
need more brain.
Yeah, need more brains.
See, I haven't quite finished this week's episode, and I think I missed another one, so I haven't been as up to date with everything.
No, I mean,
Have I decided in favor or against personifying the Dark Powers? I don't think that it's a problem to personify them, because I don't really care about the Ravenloft established lore. I'm not really worried about that.
Raven Queen.
Mm-mm.
No?
Nothing to do with Raven Queen.
Oh, I thought it was. Never mind.
No.
Probably precedes the Raven Queen, because she's new.
Yeah, I think Raven Queen was introduced in 4th edition.
Yeah, she's new. She's not
Oh, okay,
that.
never mind.
She was, because she wasn't always a god. She just decided she was gonna be.
Is the plan?
That's why Vecna hates her so much, because she was the one only people who just ascended on her own
Oh.
skills.
Okay.
Is the plan for the final battle to be with the personified Dark Powers? Probably. Like it, this massive like multi-stage ritual involving like a number of allies and
15 Nightwalkers show up.
15 Nightwalkers show up. I actually
Yester Hill's
think
probably the best place for that, right?
Yester Hill is probably the best
Yeah.
place for that to happen. Yeah.
Lightning strikes could be fun, like as an atmospheric.
Is that that big
Yeah.
tree?
Yeah. Yester
Yeah.
Hill has the Gulthias tree.
Got it.
They've got to persuade them first. Yeah. Don't forget to work in those other adventures that Madame Ava's throwing at the problem. Yeah, I kind of ditched that plan when my players were highly disrespectful to Madame Ava.
Oh no, it's almost like all the other players are just disrespectful to all your NPCs.
Yeah. Wow.
Honestly, we're assholes to the NPCs. It's
We're
fine.
gonna fix it.
We're gonna fix it. We're gonna rewind. It's gonna be fine. Well, okay, so if Strahd shows up as an illusion, right?
Mhm.
And they're like, oh shit, maybe we shouldn't ignore him.
Mhm.
And then they go to the castle, and Strahd divulges that I am under, like, I'm not the bad guy here.
Mm-hmm.
This is super railroady
Yeah,
because I don't know if they're gonna do that, but
Yeah, I don't think there's any world where they go to
I don't think they do
the
either.
castle.
I think Snurp and
they've said repeatedly that they're not going to go to the castle until they feel prepared to destroy him. So they would need to learn things about him that paint him in a better light before they go to the castle. But I think that Van Richten is a really good source of information because I can literally just hand them Strahd, and if they feel like reading it, cool. If not, I can give them the Cliff Notes and say, your character read it over the course of 4 hours.
Does Esmeralda have any relationship with Van Richten?
Esmeralda is Van Richten's student.
Okay.
She's looking for Van Richten right now.
That's right. Okay.
Van Richten has been in Barovia for the last 15 years, trying to find a way to kill Strahd. A few weeks ago, he broke into Castle Ravenloft while Strahd was pretending to be asleep.
And found
I
book.
Strahd, essentially.
So maybe now he knows how this is the nature of a curse that could potentially be broken. He could be that source of information.
Yeah.
Because it's almost like, why destroy something if you could fix it? It kind of could be his attitude. So for years he's wanted a way to kill him, but actually he doesn't need to, because he knows killing him will do nothing.
Right.
It will just continue a cycle of abuse.
And
Yeah.
then you
and
can
Van Richten's
see
smart enough to figure that out.
Yeah. And then you can see how the players at that point react to it.
And then plan from there.
Yeah. Because I think between oh god, what's the
Esmeralda?
no, the guy that's coming for Esmeralda, what's his name?
Aragal.
In between that role playing and then talking more to Esmeralda and then going to talk to Van Richten,
Okay.
I think you have enough
Yeah.
for that session
So-
before moving on.
So the thing is, Esmeralda doesn't know where Van Richten is. That's like, she came to Argon Vostholt because she thought Van Richten was here.
Okay.
And then she asked them, like, have you met Van Richten? They're like, I don't know who that is. And they don't know who Van Richten is. And Esmeralda doesn't know he's masquerading as Rictavio.
Is he at the tower?
He is
With the explosive caravan
canonically at the
outside there?
tower, yeah.
Okay.
Is that on
Have
the
they
way
seen
to
that yet?
Have
Have
they
they
s-
seen past the lake?
They have not seen the tower, no.
Okay.
I don't know if you can
Where's
see.
the winery? Because Snark really wants to go to the winery too. Is that kind of on the way
It's a
there?
way off, yeah.
So,
It
Tim,
is on the way, so you would go.
if Tim has the stream open,
Relax.
so no, I'm
He's making you feel bad.
not making him feel bad. I'm just saying I don't have any better way to show him.
I
No.
have the stream open. It's on chat only because I don't look
Okay.
at it.
It's tiny.
Your face is so tiny on screen.
He's
Anyway,
tiny.
but yeah, no. So Steph, this is where they're at.
Mhm.
This is the tower Van Richten's in. This is Kresik where they want to take Irina. This is the winery. Like, they're all really close to each other.
So can you... What if there's carriage tracks on the way there?
Yeah.
And they know and they can kind of get led to the tower that way.
Right, but how would they know that carriage tracks matter? You know what I mean?
It's much more likely to have like tiger prints on the floor might help.
Maybe.
Tiger Prince would.
Yeah.
But they don't know that Rictavio is Van Richten.
Does Esmeralda know he has a tiger?
No, because he got that.
Damn it.
Actually, when the fuck did he get a tiger?
When did he get a tiger?
I imagine this is his cover here. Like he kind of looks like he's
He's-
almost pretending to be like a Vistani.
Right, but he's been traveling Barovia for 15 years with a tiger.
Yeah.
How long do tigers
But
even
she-
live?
Yeah, that's a good point.
Also, he taught his tiger to kill a Vistani, but Esmeralda's half Vistani.
The hell?
Yeah.
I don't-
There's so many problems
Yeah.
with the racial profiling in
Yeah,
this particular.
I don't really get that one. Esmeralda can cast magic, but the problem is Van Richten has a hat of disguise that's making him look like Rictavio and not Van Richten.
Tigers
live 10 to 15 years in the wild.
10 to 15 years.
What about in captivity?
Dude, I don't know.
Like, where are you gonna get a tiger in Barovia to begin with?
That's my thing. Like, if he's been in Barovia for 15 years and has a tiger, it means he brought it here.
So,
Or he had a pregnant tiger when he first got here, and this is the cub.
or Esmeralda is secretly a
Yeah.
Rakshasha.
What?
Those are tiger people, right?
Those are tiger people.
Right?
I mean,
It's just
they're
Esmeralda.
tiger demon people.
Yeah, right.
Devil, they're fiends.
They have been known to live to the age of 26 in the wild.
Oh, okay, cool.
So
So
yeah,
it could be a geriatric tiger.
geriatric. Look at you using big words.
I'm gonna go with the pregnant tiger story.
I like pregnant tiger.
What if you
Okay.
put Snurk's mentor in the castle? No, Snurk's gonna go in there with a hot head and get killed immediately.
Is Dorian in the winery?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
had him in the basement of the winery.
Yeah.
And that's where Snurk assumes he is. And I have not been. I haven't indicated one way or the other whether or not he's right. But I could very easily move Dorian Ito and just have him.
And then Madame
Be wrong.
Ava, he would dislike Madame Ava even more.
Yeah,
It's like,
whatever.
well, she was wrong.
Rakshasas would plane shift. You can't plane shift out of Barovia. That's like Barovia 101.
I was joking about the Rakshasa, okay?
Big dumb shadows, big dumb.
Big dumb shit. You can't.
Rakshasa, not Shasha.
Rakshasa.
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 Got it.
Shashashasha. See, I think Van Richten is the best source of information. It's just, like
It's getting them there.
Rakshasha.
Shasha.
It's getting them there, but
Tiger Prince.
What was their plan before Esmeralda? Did they have a course of action?
I think their next.
Probably would have been the winery.
No, I think their next stop was Krezk. Just drop Irina
drop me
off,
off.
like you're safe now. Bye. And then they were gonna get to Krezk and find out that we're not allowed in without wine. Fuck. And then let's go to the winery.
Right.
So like, how do I get them to go to the tower instead? I mean, I could do Tiger Prince. Maybe they care, but I don't think they would care. Like they'd see Tiger Prince
No.
and be like, "And."
So what else is on there? I should just open a map of Barovia. Why am I being a big dumb? Map of Barovia.
Yeah, I don't know how to get him there. Maybe the fight with Strahd happens, like, on the road and they...
What, and Van Richten saves them?
You could do... Would he have any cause to try and fight with them?
I mean, if he's already figured out that he needs to do this big old ritual, he might think he needs allies.
Could do that. He hears
Is he a badass? Like...
Is he a badass?
He's fairly bad. He's not he's at CL4 or something, but he was the one I was going to summon in the session because he's the only one that has cure wounds and has a scroll of raised dead on him.
Oh.
So I was going to summon him if anyone died, and then you met him literally 10 minutes later.
That's dumb. the stat block is called Rictavio.
Huh.
But then the art is Van Richten.
Yeah, it's fine.
That's so dumb.
Multi-attack, sword cane.
He's CR5. He's not the most
Yeah,
powerful.
Not much.
However, he does 3d6 extra damage to undead.
Fuck.
What the fuck? The fuck?
See, because I had a chat with Steph a couple of weeks ago, and when we were talking about like how can we give them some more direction,
Yeah.
and I was saying that having Irina be kidnapped by the 6 vampires in the coffin shop and dragged bodily to Castle Ravenloft may have been a way to get them to go.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Could still do something to that effect.
You could potentially do that now and have Van Richten cut off the carriage and help them defeat whoever's trying to take Irina.
So,
But it doesn't. It's messy.
so I did have an idea that they just met Rahadin, Strahd's Chamberlain, and Rahadin doesn't have Strahd's obsession with Tatiana, but he's seen the painting of Tatiana. So he had a moment where he's like, "Do I know you?" to Irina. And what I'm imagining is that Rahadin goes home, talks to Strahd, describes the meeting that he had. Like, yeah, I gave them the invitation. There were actually 6 of them, not 5. You said there would be 5 of them. And then Strahd goes, "Wait, what the fuck? Did she look like this?" And then he sends Rahadin out, or he himself goes out.
Or he does the illusion with himself.
Yeah.
To try and take her back.
I mean,
Yeah.
that's pretty good.
That makes a lot of narrative sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
But like I even seeded like Rahadin had this moment of recognition, like
And Irina not knowing, not
And
having
Irina
any
has no
memories
fucking
is
clue who
like,
she is,
I
yeah.
don't think so.
yeah.
That's good. Write that down.
Write that down.
Yeah, Rahad.
Yeah, it's getting Rictavio involved.
Yeah. So let me pull up Van Richten's tower and let's see
Work with that setting. Yeah.
Well, no, let's see how what kind of.
I pecked her from yesterday.
Following in the vampire hunter's footsteps is his protege Esmeralda, who has taken to living in the tower while she searches for her mentor.
Oh.
Esmeralda lives there.
Oh.
Yeah, because she's only been here 2 months.
Okay.
She came here to find him specifically.
Right.
And yeah, she's been looking around trying to find because one of his fake carts is outside, so she's seen something. She's seen the name.
No, that's
so obviously she knows
her
his fake name.
Cart.
Oh, it's her cart. Okay.
Yeah, it's her cart.
But yeah.
Van Richten spent several months in the tower.
Reviewing a lifetime worth of research on
Spent.
Strahd.
He spent time here. So where is he going? Okay, so I had him leave Vallaki, and I had him leave to the west. So that's where they are now. They're west of Vallaki.
Mm-hmm.
So where would he go? Did Esmeralda leave the tower, and then he showed up at the tower?
Yeah.
Potentially, the explosion is one way to get people to go there.
What, just have Van Richten set off the wagon?
Potentially. Or someone else. But a huge explosion off the road at a mile north might get their attention.
Yeah. I also need to find a way to get the werewolves involved, because my player's personal hooks are werewolf related.
Yeah.
Who?
Gramps and Tiny.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
The wolves ate. They're...
And also their fated ally is one of the werewolves.
So, and the werewolves are north, so they'd have to kind of go past the tower to access the wolf den, wouldn't they?
Yeah, pretty much.
So they could track wolf tracks northwards.
I think one of the special events at the tower is actually werewolves attacking. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it is too.
If the characters blew up Esmeralda's wagon, or blah blah blah,
6 normal werewolves.
the
9
disturbance
wolves.
attracts the attention of a pack of werewolves.
That's a lot, shit.
Yeah.
So what if it just blows up and everyone gets there at the exact same time?
So the players arrive, Van Richten is already there, Esmeralda arrives, werewolves arrive.
Oh my
And
god,
then the
that's
wolves
such a
show
mess
up.
for you.
That's a real goddamn mess for me to roleplay. Yikes!
Alright, Tim, we need you on Sunday.
Tim, we need you on Sunday.
Make yourself available. You're now Van Richten.
Okay.
Go to bed.
Okay. Stop telling me to go to bed. It finishes at 9. I'm fine. Oh my god.
Do you want it to be that much of a
there-
clusterfuck just to get their gears turning?
So,
Well,
if
it starts an avalanche of stuff for them.
yeah, it kind of does. Yeah. So
But
here's
maybe you don't put Van Richten in there because they'll get distracted. Just have the wolves show up. They fight the wolves. Some of them run. They follow them north. Gramps and Tiny aren't going to ignore it. They can't. They
No.
can't afford to.
No.
And then when they come back south via the tower, Van Richten is then there.
Okay.
okay.
Wolves first, then.
So they're not going to the So they're not going to the tower because anything blew up if Van Richten's not there. They're just going because
someone or something else has to have triggered it.
Okay.
Well, I don't know. I think that's too much of a stretch.
I mean, it could be that there's a dead werewolf when they get there. Like, a werewolf went out, and then the rest of the werewolf... And then that would explain the rest of the werewolves showing up. Like, one of our werewolves just died. We're gonna go send more people to figure out what in the fuck.
Yeah. Yeah, because it's a new caravan in the area,
Right.
so they would be interested.
Yeah. They sent one of their own to just steal stuff from the wagon, and he got blown the fuck up. And they're like, okay, someone's trying to kill our people. Let's send an attack squad, essentially.
Yeah.
And even if the players are at the crossroads when it blows up, they'll get there long before the werewolves. as long as they
Yeah.
take the hook.
They will.
Yeah.
They will.
I mean, Irina can push that, or Esmeralda can push that because it's her card.
Yeah, Esmeralda would absolutely push that
Yeah.
if she's still with the party.
My card.
Yeah.
My cabbages.
My cabbages.
Oh my god, you have to fill it with fake cabbages that were stuffed with gunpowder.
Oh my
Oh my
God.
Well, it's Alchemist Fire, but yeah.
Oh, Jesus. That's solid, though.
It's a cabbage cart.
My cabbage cart
Oh
court.
my god. I mean, it's a Vardo, but it's
Whatever.
fine. Dead werewolf with a silver coin in its head. Oh my god, what if it's filled with silver coins? Or like silver shrapnel? What if
Yeah,
it...
that's kinda
Oh
cool.
god, yeah, no, it's definitely got to be silver frag grenades. Oh, gotta be silver frag grenades.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, they're just gonna find
She
a
was
werewolf
learning.
peppered with silver.
Yeah.
Shadows, you get inspiration
That's
to
kinda
a ward during the Curse of Strahd stream if you watch.
They only have one silver weapon, and then they just found a magic weapon. Snurk still has no way to damage a werewolf.
No. Mm-mm.
Is it immune to poison?
Like me.
Because he can still hit them and just deal the
Yeah.
poison damage. He's just
He
not
can
gonna deal
actually
the
punch
slashing
them and
bits,
deal
like-
cold damage. And they're not immune to poison.
Yeah, no.
He can punch them and deal cold damage.
He has to figure that out, but... I don't think he's gonna go up to it and punch it.
I mean, he might just go, it's made of flesh and blood, let me poison it.
Yeah.
But do you have to deal damage with your attack to actually deal
They're
the...
just immune to the damage. So you can still, like if you're mixing and matching damage types, you can still hit them.
You can apply this... It has to... Wait, it has to be a piercing weapon? Huh.
Why?
Interesting.
Hmm.
I mean, he has a piercing weapon, so no big deal.
But that's just really odd. I don't know.
Yeah.
You have to inject it.
Yeah, I thought, a slashing weapon would work.
I guess that's the rationale. You have to...
Did they not raid Van Richten's cart and take the monster hunting kit out of the front?
No. They did not.
Dummies.
I peered in the top, hoping someone would do something.
Mm.
And all they did was
Yeah.
they secured it more so the tiger wouldn't be able to get back out. That's all they really did
I mean,
with it.
I'm like 90%
That's where
sure.
the tome. That's where the tome was for us. It was in his lockbox
Oh.
with his monster hunting kit.
Okay.
So we had to. We were like, okay, cool. We now have a bunch of stuff that will help us
Yeah.
because they were like silvered bolts.
Yeah,
Stuff like
he does piercing
Yeah.
damage anyway, because he has a rapier that he calls a katana. Yeah.
I mean, Esmeralda would know enough, right? Well,
What? Would know enough what about
No.
werewolves?
yeah.
Oh, absolutely. She's a monster hunter.
Yeah, right.
She called herself a
She's a
vampire,
vampire hunter.
No, she called herself a vampire hunter because that's what they wanted to hear.
Yeah.
But she's a monster hunter. But yeah, Nixie does want to kill Strahd, but Nixie doesn't know that right now because she lost her goddamn mind.
I'm cray cray.
So yeah, okay. So I think we got a plan. We're working towards a big ass ritual that will actually fix the problem once and for all. Strahd might help them. In the meantime, he's going to send illusions to try and steal Irina.
They'll
Because
escalate it for them,
Strahd
too.
has learned that if he goes to personally try and steal Tatiana, the dark powers evade him. The dark powers thwart him, rather. So he's trying to be a little more indirect. It's like, it's fine. I'm just playing. I don't actually want her. It's fine. He's playing coy with the dark powers because they only strike when he gets serious. So he's trying to tiptoe to that precipice in the hopes that he can leap off of it before it disappears.
Right.
And that's what he's learned over the centuries.
That's solid.
So that's why he doesn't kill them outright, because if he did, that would be, that would be a big old red flag for the dark powers. Like,
That's a display of greed that he
Right.
can't control himself. He must have her
right.
at all costs.
Okay, so we're gonna work towards teaching them that Strahd is sympathetic.
And see how they react to that, because they...
Right.
I hope
And
they don't receive it poorly.
Yeah, like,
but...
Tim, you might be back here literally next week after they receive all of this horribly and all of the...
fucked up, guys!
Yeah, we fucked up,
Down
so...
to plan Z. Okay, what do we
Here's
have
what
left?
went wrong. The players killed Esmeralda, never went to the
No!
tower. They heard an explosion, said, nope, don't want none of that.
Wine!
To wine! And then he gets his mentor.
Yeah, so, Plan
What's
Z.
gonna happen
Cute.
with that?
Plan Z.
Cute. Yeah, so we have a plan. Hey, thanks, Jazz Marauder. I got your inspiration.
Hey! We love you.
Let me put that on the list. And yes, that showed up. That showed up on stream when I did that. It's real dumb looking. Inspiration.
Can you add 7 to mine?
Oh my god, I burnt everything last session with those vampires.
Yeah, you did.
Let's get Tim back. Tim, beautiful face. Alright, so I do have to do like regular session prep now. I gotta like make maps and shit. But you guys don't have to be here for that if you don't want to.
That's cute for get the fuck out.
I mean, no, but
Yeah, I gotta go to bed.
Yeah.
it's fucking,
For
it's
once.
tomorrow. Go to bed, Tim. Go to bed.
I'm in the future.
I love you. Bye. Thanks for coming.
Love you guys. Bye.
Can I take my headphones back?
You may take your headphones back. I gotta figure out the camera now.
Alright.
Alright, so I can
Hello.
close Zoom. You guys are gonna lose me for a second. And I can turn my camera off and on, maybe? Maybe?
Guys, give Irina inspiration too. Okay, bye. You wanna come down with me?
So I can take my headphones out. That's a godsend.
Yeah.
Thank God. Trying to get my camera back. Zoom captured the camera before I opened OBS, and now OBS doesn't seem to want to figure it out. Video capture device, create new. There we go. Big face. Whoop. Make it smaller. Don't need to be able to see my door. You really don't. And then we'll just make this a little bit bigger. All right, so let's. So now that we got that all figured out, so let's get some stuff right. All right, so we got 2020 0830. That's Sunday's session. What do we need to prep? So we figured out that we want a Strahd illusion, waylay encounter. Strahd appears in the mists. Big face. Yeah, for like a second. Strahd appears in the mists. Charms Irina as per his charm ability. Steph, if you're listening, you need to roleplay being charmed real good. You gotta roleplay being charmed. He's very charming. He's a very, very charming man. I wish that I could do that while we're playing, but the microphone's actually hanging like 3 feet above my head, 5 feet across the table. So I can't get like real close and do the really low ASMR voice. Can't do that while we're playing, unfortunately. But that's okay. Charms Irina as per his charm ability. I don't think this, not a combat encounter. No, it is a combat encounter. No, who do I want to show up? So I don't want to use the werewolves just yet, because we already figured out that we're going to use them at the tower. I don't want to use Rahadin, because I don't want Rahadin to die. Like, if Rahadin's going to fight, I need to give him a solid out. And I don't think that he would have a good out other than... Actually, no. Rahadin shows up if they chase the illusion... if they run after the... If they just... poof the illusion. This is not a combat encounter. Group shit talks into a combat encounter. When I said this is not a combat encounter, what I meant was there are no enemies to even fight. Rahaden fights. Rahaden is able to disappear into the mists. PCs start choking if they chase after him. No enemies to fight? That's what you think. We'll make our own enemies to fight. So they can learn how much of a badass Rahaden is with his deathly choir. It's gonna absolutely murder Rubek. Snurk is not yet level 7, so he doesn't have wisdom saving throw proficiency. Inej, do rogues have whiz saves? No, I don't think so. Rogues have dex saves, right? They're dex in. Rogues are indeed dex in. Can always bring in more Vrox, yeah. So yeah, I think Rahaden's gonna absolutely murder the melee guys with Deathly Choir. 3d10 psychic damage, yikes. So Rahaden is able to disappear into the mists, so as soon as he gets like bloodied or whenever I feel like he's losing, he'll just disappear into the mists, and he won't get choked. And then the players, if they make their way into the mists, they'll get murdered. So I need a... Oh, look, I have Misty Road. So I'm going to use the Horizont... I think I already set this up. No, I didn't. Okay. So the last time I used this was for outside of Valaki. So let's go map. We can delete the walls of Valaki. Don't need those. And then we're going to delete the Dire Wolves. Don't need those anymore. And we already have an Irina token, so that's super convenient. I think that has the wrong user on it, though. Yeah, controlled by... where's Steph? Does she just log... I think she just logs in as me. It's fine. So they're traveling down the road. And then, do I have a Rahaden token? Rahaden. I do have a Rahaden token. Weep. And then I need a Strahd token. Weep. And then I can move Rahaden onto the right-click layer, GM layer, and then essentially just move him right on top of Strahd. Strahden token? Yeah. So yeah, this one's nice and easy to set up, and then I can just when the mists start pouring in, what I can do is I can just draw a circle that essentially is the safe area, and then have Rahaden move outside of it, and then as soon as they leave it, they start choking and they make the con save versus exhaustion, and they might go, okay, let me turn around immediately, or they might keep trying to chase him. Who knows? Yeah, but he also has Misty Step, which is fucking crazy. Fucking love Misty Step. Phantom Steed's awesome too. But yeah, so that's a fight. That's definitely a fight that can happen. Does Gramps choke? Yes. I think, right? A creature that starts his turn in the fog. Weep. Does Gramps breathe? Yes, Gramps has to breathe. He doesn't have undead. The whatever feature says undead don't have to breathe. Is that even actually a feature on like a? Like I know they have undead fortitude, but do they have like? Yeah, like it doesn't even have a feature that says it doesn't breathe. But I think some undead do. He doesn't have one, so he still has to eat, drink, and breathe. So that's fine. Yeah, so exhaustion, crazy, absolutely crazy. So that's an encounter. So this is gonna be Misty Road H. Constructs don't need to breathe. If Gramps does his wild shape into his undead form, would he be temporarily fine then? As long as he wild shapes into something that's immune to exhaustion, yeah. A zombie immune to exhaustion? Nope. Does Shadow have immune to exhaustion? Constructs don't need to breathe. Shadow is... Yeah. Oh, condition immunity is exhaustion. So if he turned into a shadow, he could get immunity to exhaustion. So yeah. Gramps could do that. That's a thing he could do. That's cool. So then, as they get to the crossroads that leads to the tower explosion. So we're getting a little ahead of ourselves. So right now the players are, PCs are at Argen Vostholt. They have a conversation with Esmeralda. A minute in, Aragal arrives with two Vistani bandits. I think that's what they are. They're bandits. Yep, bandits. Kolya. Oh no, wrong one. Yeah, they're still bandits. Two Vistani bodyguards. No names. He's got a riding horse. The bandits ride dire wolves. Cool, cool, cool. Dire wolves are servants, so Strahd can't be charmed or frightened. Hang on, I gotta fix this. I got a little mat that I stand on, and it was in the wrong place because I was standing further away with stuff. Aragal arrives. Esmeralda. So let's read a bit about Esmeralda so that we know like who she is and how she behaves and all that. Oh, my nose is running. When Esmeralda was a little girl, her family kidnapped Van Richten's teenage son Erasmus. Yup. She can hear Erasmus's pleas for mercy. Esmeralda ran away from home. She tracked down Van Richten, thinking she was a Vistana assassin. He found his son, who had been transformed into a vampire spawn. When Erasmus pleaded to his father for salvation, Van Richten granted his request by ending his existence. Cool. Remained by his side for 2 years. So she was a little girl, and then at the age of 15, she ran away. 2 years later, she found him. She stayed with him for 2 years, so she's 19. Cool. Cool. Two vampire hunters got on each other's nerves, and their arguments became more frequent. Esmeralda suggested they part company. Van Richten agreed. Since bidding farewell, Esmeralda has amassed a sizable personal fortune. Yep. One of her less successful adventures, a werewolf bit off her right leg below the knee. She commissioned a master artisan to craft a prosthetic lower leg and foot. Nixie. While in the company of a Vistani caravan, Esmeralda heard a rumor that Rudolf Van Richten had gone to Barovia to slay the most powerful vampire of them all. She decided that he might need help and travel for months to reach Strahd's domain. She rode her wagon to Valaki and learned about an old tower that seemed the sort of place Van Richten was used as a base. When she arrived there, she found some of Van Richten's belongings, but of the vampire hunter there was no sign. Anxious to learn the whereabouts of her mentor, she's also eager to earn his trust and respect. To that end, she's been poring over Van Richten's research and learning about Strahd and Castle Ravenloft, with every intention of dispatching the vampire herself. Okay. What are you doing? Are you doing anything with the Baal Verzi? I thought it might be a nice twist for Inej to actually be from that line and receive their Baal Verzi dagger to murder Strahd. I wasn't planning on it, but that is a good idea. I wasn't really sure how to use the Baal Verzi, if at all. So, for those of you who haven't read Strahd, the Baal Verzi are a group of assassins who have a very long list of rules about who and how they can kill. And they made an attempt on Strahd's life at one point. There's the ghost of one in a mirror of Valaki. Does that mirror actually mention Baal Verzi? Whoa! Cool. Neat. So I kind of want that to be Leo Delisnia. So Leo Delisnia was, in fact, the Balverzi that tried to kill Strahd. Failed, but was able to pin it on his brother. And then later, after Strahd killed his brother and Tatiana succeeded in killing Strahd, except that Strahd can't be killed anymore, so Strahd didn't die. And then Strahd, 50 years later, tracked down Leo Delisnia, turned him into a vampire, crammed him into a grave, and let him starve to death over the course of a month. And that same Leo Delisnia is the guy whose bones Lady Wachter keeps under lock and key, and the bones that my players think are Sergei's bones. So that would actually be really cool. I don't know why it would be in the possession of the Burgomaster. That seems really weird. But I am totally happy to put that somewhere else, like in Van Richten's tower. So we know a little bit about Esmeralda now. She's been looking for Van Richten. She's been staying at the tower. She's expecting him to return to the tower basically at any time, but she also wants to gain his trust and his respect. But the problem is that Van Richten has been cursed for quite a while. Anyone he loves or gets close to, I think. What's Rictavio? Curse. Curse placed on him long ago by a Vistani seer brings doom to those he befriends. So he, if he thinks he's in danger of being unmasked, he retreats to his tower. So my players left Vallaki long after him. But we could just say that he is working. So let's say that when he left Vallaki, and my players never really asked, why do they think it's Sergei's bones? Because they found it next to the Tome of Strahd, which talked about Sergei. And you guys can't really see me because I keep leaning down. I keep leaning down to the microphone to talk all sultry-like. Let's stop that. They think it's Sergei's bones because they found it next to the Tome of Strahd, which mentioned Sergei. What are you gonna do? I can't control every conclusion they come to. The sultry is good. Do not stop. Tim, go to bed. So Van Richten. So let's say that he made his way down towards Berez. Maybe not to Berez, but essentially he wanted to lay low, get the heat off before he head back to the tower where he thinks that he needs to go to not be, because like he brought himself a lot of heat with the Tiger escape, or it wasn't even his fault. It was the Wachter brothers. So he made his way down towards Berez. Maybe he's disposing of the Tiger, and then he's going to make his way to the tower, but not until after the players get there, at least once. I kind of wish there was an easy way to just like hold the microphone up to my mouth. So now I can do the sultry voice, and it's actually a lot easier on my voice. It doesn't hurt my throat quite so much. Anyway, get a boom. I have a boom, but it's like a tripod boom, and it's downstairs. So 1 second. Is it this one? Okay, before I forget, let me just delete that. Move that down there. I'll just hide these for now. Okay. Next time. I need to get a good wireless headset. So the problem with the headset is that number one, the microphones are garbage compared to an actual like studio microphone. Number two, then you wouldn't be able to see my beautiful hair. Yeti Boom was $120. Jesus, it's a standard 3/4 inch screw. Jeez. There's no reason a boom should be $120. Anyway, so Van Richten is going to make his way to the tower eventually. So the question is, what do I want Esmeralda to tell them? She tells them she's here to kill Strahd and find Van Richten. She is good enough in a fight that she thinks she doesn't need to be sneaky, and she doesn't understand that Van Richten doesn't want to be found because he knows he needs to be sneaky. Because if you'll notice, like, he's CR5, she's CR8. So she's much better in a fight than him, at least against non-undead. Because Van Richten does do an extra 3-6 damage on every hit against undead. Feel the mic on the headsets you have are not wireless. Yeah, I mean, it's not going to be $100 Yeti mic good on a $80 headset, you know what I mean? Like, I could get a $500 headset and it would definitely have a microphone as good as this one, but I don't want to spend $500 on a headset. And I especially don't want a wireless headset because then I have to worry about batteries and shit. But yeah, so she has a home base nearby and is willing to host them for a short time. Today was your wireless headset. Your yeah, right. Like your Sennheiser, yeah. A really good wireless headset's going to be hundreds of dollars, if not $100. Like I have a $100 microphone. I actually paid $130 for it because COVID gouging, but I do pace around. That is a thing that I do, but so go buy Sennheisers. So she has a home base nearby and she's willing to host them for a short time. As they get to the crossroad that leads to the tower explosion, a werewolf set off the bomb in the carriage. Silver shrapnel frag grenades. Still clearly werewolven. That's a word. Very dead. And because he's dead, they can't question him. And she doesn't know Speak with Dead. Does Van Richten... Rictavio. Does he know Speak with Dead? He do know Speak with Dead. Ooh. That's cool. Tracks lead to the werewolf den, which means I need to prep the werewolf den. Awesome. So I have prepped the werewolf den exactly one time before. I've never run it before. Werewolves in their wolf form can't speak common, though. Is the werewolf instantly dead or slowly dying? He's dead. He's in hybrid form and he's dead. He's just dead. Like, I want it to be very, very obvious that he's a werewolf, but I also want him to be very dead. But tracks lead to the werewolf den. And I think that Tiny and Gramps will pick up on that and go, oh, okay, that's a thing we want to follow. The werewolf den is not super complicated. So there's an entrance that looks like the mouth of a wolf, which is really cool. There's some branching stuff. There's children in cages in Z7. I think Z4A is the storage. Half wolf, half human form, mid-shift. I mean, they literally just have a hybrid form. Like, that's a thing that werewolves do. I guess that's just a thing. Like, they have, like, the art depicts their hybrid form. Use an action to polymorph into a wolf humanoid hybrid, or into a wolf, or back into its true form, which is humanoid. So it's just going to be hybrid form. It's like, there's no mistaking this as a werewolf. It's a werewolf. Tiny Gramps, you found a werewolf. Go deal with it, maybe. So, did someone say werewolf? Yeah, it's a werewolf. What I like to do is pull up the area on Roll20 so that I don't have to scroll up and down and 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 up and down. So Werewolf Den, real simple. It's a very small map. Just already tokens, which is fan-fucking-tastic. What is this? What is this? What do you do? Special events. Every hour, hunting party returns. Is there a goat in this? Is there a dead goat? No. Kirill, 6 werewolves, 9 wolves. Yep, that's the hunting party. Holy shit. And the werewolves arrive in wolf form, which means... Wolf. I like multi-sided tokens, they're cool. Clan Infernal. Yeah, there's a whole thing. Emil was trying to become the leader of the pack. And Strahd has him in prison for some reason. Schism formed as a result of the challenge to Kirill's leadership. Another werewolf, Emil, questioned the treatment of children kidnapped by the pack. Kirill will arm the children with weapons and force them to fight until death, till one child was left standing. The winner would be turned into a werewolf, ensuring what Kirill called the strength and purity of the pack. Multi-sided tokens are a thing? Yeah, they're really cool. Unfortunately, you need to make one of these tables. So if I go into Kirill Stoyanovich, so he has human form, hybrid form, wolf form. So you have to make one of these tables, and then you can assign it to a token. I forget exactly how. Yeah. Yeah, like Emil. We've got Emil, hybrid, wolf. Regular werewolf. Wolf, hybrid, male human, female human. What's Strahd? Batwolf, true mist, cute. That's cool. Gothic trinkets. Rollable. So this isn't a multi-sided token, this is just a table. Davian Mardukov, hybrid, raven, humanoid. Seriously? Just a token that says hybrid were-raven. So we were kind of repeating what he did to the Goliath, but found a way to make a few children useful. Yeah, basically. So Emil thinks that they should turn them all into werewolves. Kirill thinks that that's too many mouths to feed. Kirill disappeared for a few days. Kirill returned with a bunch of dire wolves, loyalist Strahd, and Emil was taken to Castle Ravenloft. His mate, Zuleika, who is their fated ally, doesn't like that. And she wants help facing Kirill's authority, or challenging Kirill's authority, and taking control of the pack. So above the tree line, carved on the side of Rocky Mountain Spurs, a wide torchlit cave that looks like the gaping maw of a great wolf. Of course it does. So you got 2 werewolves on a ledge overlooking the entrance. Cave mouth, guard post, 2 werewolves, wolf den. We got the old dude, Skinnis. Too old to hunt. He plays a flute for wolves and a werewolf. Cool. Where's the werewolf? Where is the... What? Where's the werewolf? Are you the werewolf? No, you're a wolf. 9 wolves and a werewolf in here. Oh, Jesus. Scannis is the... Okay. Why are there so many wolves here? Fuck. Whatever. Underground spring. Some water. I don't know what that zigzag is. Oh, that's the ceiling. Fissure in the ceiling. Got it. Deep cave. 7 Z4A. Crates. Heaps of adult-sized clothing. Okay, they're stealing clothes. Got it. It's their wolf. Thank you. I deserve that. Z5. We got a werewolf. Bianca. Kirill's mate. Gotcha. Wencencia. Sleeps with Kellen. Kellen's non-combatant werewolf's damage immunities. Wooden doll that resembles one of the characters, but is painted and dressed to look like a zombie. We're going to go with Tiny. We're going to go with Tiny. Looks like Tiny. When an alarm sound, Wencencia takes Kellen to area Z7, locks him in an empty cage, and tells him to take human form, which he does. So he's going to pretend to be a people. Liam's Hold, a hamlet near the Misty Forest in the Forgotten Realms. Kirill's Cave. Kirill gets his own cave. But his mate has her own cave? Okay. And then there's the Shrine of Mother Night, Ovenya. That's where Zuleika is. Zuleika's guarding the prisoners. If the characters confirm that Emil is truly dead, either by her hands or Strahd's, she might still let the prisoners go if characters help her deal with Kirill. She blames above all. She sees the characters as the answer to her prayers and asks them to kill Kirill when he returns from his latest hunt. Each of the 8 children has AC 10, 1 hit point, and no effective attacks. 1d6 plus 6 for their age. Rocks top each cage can be knocked or lifted off, allowing cages to be open. The children are in shock. Cool. Corpses hang on the wall behind the statue of 2 Barovian adults killed by the pack and presented as offerings to Mother Night. Neat. Buttload of treasure. If your card reveals there's a treasure here. Okay, so it's not going to tell me about Zuleika. She will accompany the characters if they promise to avenge her mate Emil by killing the leader of her pack, Kirill. Okay, so if they want her to come with them, they need to kill Kirill. But I think my players might actually just want to kill Zuleika because she is the one who murdered a bunch of Tiny's friends and destroyed a portal to the Feywild. Why'd they do that? I don't know. I had some idea that it was on Strahd's orders trying to add more land to Barovia somehow, but I don't really know. Apparently the werewolves can leave. I'm not really sure what that's about. Oh, terrible dreams. Yikes. Returning a stolen item doesn't end the curse. Portal to the Feywild. They can't escape Barovia through it. No. There was a portal in the Feywild in the Forgotten Realms where Gramps is from. So Gramps' town was built around a portal to the Feywild, and on the other side of that portal to the Feywild was Tiny's village. And the werewolves insinuated themselves into Gramps' village and then betrayed their trust by going into the Feywild, which they were allowed to do, and then murdering a buttload of pixies. And in doing so, were able to destroy the portal, but not before Tiny came through to the Prime Material. And then Tiny and Gramps set off to try and find their werewolf murderer peoples, and it was Zuleika and her husband Emil. So they hate her, understandably. And then Z8 Circle Stone. 20-foot diameter ring of stones dominates a rocky ledge in the mountainside. Within the ring, you see spattered blood and small gnawed bones. So this is where they have the kids fight. Rack shotgun with silver buckshot. Yeah. So they're gonna hate Zuleika, but she's literally their fated ally. Don't know if they're gonna put that together. Whatever. Emil is not with them, so he's not going to be present when Kirill returns. If both Kirill and Emil die, Zuleika becomes pack leader and cuts all ties to Strahd. Ordinary wolves leave the pack. If the characters were drawn to Barovia by werewolves in the mist, the werewolf attacks on the Sword Coast come to an end under Zuleika's leadership. Cool. If she's also dead, a young fierce werewolf named Franz Grossa becomes pack leader. He's vicious and treacherous, showing the characters no mercy. Okay. Dekinder. If the characters get the children away from the den while Kirill's alive, Kirill reassembles his hunting party and pursues the lost prisoners relentlessly. If he's dead, the pack is too preoccupied with determining Kirill's successor to organize a hunting party. If the characters aren't sure where to take the children, a were-raven's been spying on the den in raven form, assumes hybrid form, and suggests they take refuge in the nearby village of Krezik. Were-raven scouts from overhead. The characters reach the village, whereupon it flies south of the Wizard of Wine's winery and reports what has happened to Davy and Mardukov. Cool. Children are traumatized, cry and scream the whole time. Calm emotion quells their anguish for the duration of the spell. Cute. Using intimidation or offering them hope, real or otherwise. Intimidation, persuasion, or deception. Cool. They remain silent until something happens to frighten them. Cool. If the characters take the children to Krezik villages there, look after the children and see that they are fed and properly clothed. If the characters take them to Valaki instead, the Mardukovs allow the children to stay at the Blue Water Inn until the characters return to collect them. Cool. So yeah, nice and easy to prep the werewolf den. So that's essentially my plan. when the players return to the... Kids, if you be quiet, I'll get you food. Yeah. Esmeralda has no reason to follow them. She just don't. Oh, wait, no, okay. No, hang on. I forgot. An hour later, a werewolf hunting party attacks. See special events. Yeah, that was my plan. Okay. So, fuck. I have a lot of tabs open. Don't need you. Don't need you. Don't need you. Don't need you. I do need Van Richten's Tower, which I closed at some point. Special events. Okay, so Kirill is with them, with 6 normal wolves and 6 werewolves and 9 wolves. So that's the hunting party. So. Okay. Cool. All right. So C. Pack attack. Special event. All right. Tracks left by the hunting party lead to the werewolf den. Esmeralda has no beef, wants nothing to do with them. She cannot be convinced to accompany them, but will harm them with silver. Okay. So I think that's it for Curse of Strahd. We figured out a lot in terms of plot and prepped the next few locations and combats that we're likely to see. And we'll probably have to reevaluate the plot after next session. We'll just see. We'll see what happens. So thanks for being here. And I am going to start prepping Odyssey of the Dragonlords in just a few minutes. So I'm going to take a quick break, get some water, hit the bathroom. So I'll be back in no more than 5 minutes to start prepping for Odyssey. Bye.